internet to bring you the ultimate in life hacks, bonkers inventions, and crazy contraptions designed to make your life easier, more exciting, and definitely more fun. And we've summoned a team of experts with science brains and funny bones to explain everything. From the ridiculous to the sublime. And make sure you strap in for the grand finale at our very own Hack HQ, where we create and construct an epic stunt, our very own supersized solutions to life's problems, big and small, with the help of Mike Sansom, pyrotechnician, chemist and engineer, and his human guinea pigs, Marcus Bronzy and Stephen Grant. For now, sit back, relax, and put your feet up. Let us do the hard work so you don't have to. This is how hacks work. In this episode, we're dressing up and letting our hair down as we show you how to hack through your next night out. So get those glad rags on and get ready to party!
The best way to recover from a night out, I find, is dark sunglasses and profuse apologies.
Everybody loves a night out, and in this episode, we'll show you some tips to guarantee your next one ends up the talk of the town the morning after. From how to be crease-free when you're iron-free, to testing your own breath so that others don't have to. And giving your favourite nighttime attire a new lease of life. And in our epic hack, we'll be creating some extra special effects to thrill everyone at your next karaoke night.
Ready? Gas on. Whoa!
Right, you lot, first up, let's get you looking more presentable for that big night out. If you're too cool to own an iron, but still want to dress to impress, this saucepan hack will make sure any creases are foiled.
The reason that she's wrapped the pan in foil in this hack is basically so that she doesn't get all the dirt on the bottom of the pan on the clothes.
What that heat does is it loosens the bonds between the long chained molecules that the fabric is made up of. And then once the bonds are loosened, it sort of lies it out flat. So the pressure and the heaviness means you can sort of push the creases out.
Didn't think it was possible, but Fran has just made ironing even more boring.
I think the best way to avoid ironing is to be pretty scruffy generally, and then you've lowered people's expectations.
Genius or an idiot? I'll leave that decision to you viewers. It may not look pretty, but this hack will keep your night out wrinkle-free. A well-turned-out hit! So you've got your favourite dress crease-free, but what about that annoying zip that won't do up? Get your teeth into this video. You'll be able to solve that costume malfunction in seconds with this fuss-free dental floss tip. The great thing about this hack is you'll never forget to floss before a night out again.
Tooth floss is made out of materials like Teflon or nylon, and these are really strong synthetic polymers. It's stronger than a piece of string because instead of being wound like thread, it's actually just a single piece of material, which is what gives it its incredible strength.
If you're going out for a night out and you haven't got any dental floss, wear a wetsuit.
That only really works if you're going on a date with a dolphin though, George. This zippy hack saves time and promotes dental hygiene. What more do you want on your night out? A minty fresh hit! You may be thinking this next clip is from a very low-budget horror film, but it's actually the cutting, or rather slimy edge, of beauty therapy in Serbia. This woman is receiving the cleansing benefits of Helix aspersum Muller glycoconjugates, or as the rest of us know it, snail slime. As well as being really yucky, snail mucus contains nutrients and antioxidants that some say contribute to a youthful-looking face. Who'd have thought that looking good on that night out on the town would one day involve a platoon of mollusks trailing slime all over your face?
The skin's actually made up of lots and lots of different proteins and fibres, and that gives it its texture and its springiness and its elasticity. But as you go through life, all the wear and tear, all your experiences, they start to break those fibres. So you end up with wrinkles and laughter lines.
Snails use slime for a number of different purposes, and they even use it in mating, but I sort of stopped researching at that point.
You really don't know the mood of the snail you're putting on your face. So there's no way of testing what's in snail slime because snails constantly change what's in it.
I think I'm going to go with Andrew here, Ali. There are just some things in life that should remain a mystery. But if you think sliming your face sounds like extreme beauty therapy, some die-hard revellers out there are even using poison for their pre-night out regime. Your skin is so incredible, it covers over 1.5 square metres of your body. So it's no wonder some of us go to extreme lengths to keep it looking good. One popular treatment, Botox, is actually a toxin, which comes from a type of soil bacteria. When this poison gets into our nervous system, it stops your nerves from transmitting chemical messages to your muscles, which tell them to move. And by paralysing these muscles, it's enough to prevent wrinkles forming. Those same chemicals also talk to your sweat glands, so you can kiss goodbye to being a sweaty mess on the dance floor.
It looks horrible, the idea of it is horrible, and I would just rather get old.
Quite honestly, there are already enough slimy characters out there to deal with on a night out. This one is a moist, mucky miss. Your night out is going with a pop until you realise that pop is a cork which is now stuck in your bottle. But don't worry, this next hack will show you how to fish it out.
When the cork goes inside the wine bottle, it stays at the surface of the wine. Then when you put the string in underneath it, what you need to do is hook the string under the cork and then pull it up. And it's just with sheer force that you have to then recompress the cork through the opening of the wine bottle and eventually pull it out.
Cork actually has a unique set of properties. It's termite resistant, it's fire resistant, it's rot resistant. It's also buoyant because of the structure. It's filled with tiny, tiny, tiny little air holes which allow it to float.
I have never in my entire life felt a need to remove a cork that I've pushed into a bottle. I see no point.
Oh, I don't know, George. Maybe they just don't like the idea of a fragmented cork slowly disintegrating into their drink. Until you've dropped a cork in a bottle, you don't know the pain of this problem fully. This hack definitely floats my boat. A buoyant hit! So far, we've seen a sensational snail facial to add to your night out beauty regime, and how to iron out any costume malfunctions. But the night out's not over yet, so stick with us, because we've got a bow tie tip to make your outfit even snazzier. And a hack to ensure your breath is always as sweet as your chat. And in our epic hack, Mike will be combining two of the most awesome things in the world, music and fire, for a show-stopping karaoke hack.
I liked it. Ready?
Gas on.
Whoa!
Having bad breath on a night out is like your flies being undone. It's really embarrassing, and you're always the last one to know. This top tip ensures the only thing suffering from pungent pongs will be your wrist.
Lick your wrist, wait 10 seconds, and then smell the spot that you just licked.
Just doing that feels disgusting.
Didn't look great either, to be honest, George.
And then you've got to wait.
I think we're good.
I think I'm okay.
Basically, we've evolved so that we can't smell ourselves, so that if an unusual or dangerous smell comes up to us, we are actually better able to react to that.
Unfortunately though, evolution didn't count on us attracting mates on our nights out by standing really close and shouting sweet nothings at them. Otherwise, it would have at least given our mouth a mint gland or something. Thanks to this breath hack though, the only reason people won't want to stand close to you on a night out now is your personality. Can't help with that though. A minty fresh hack hit! No night out is complete without some liquid refreshments, and this hack shows you how to transport those drinks like a boss. Anyone who can perform this hack has surely earned a free drink. Okay, I admit it, worth the wait. Some superb finger play there, mate. It might take you a while, but this nocturnal drink-carrying hack will earn you some serious pub points. A fantastically frothy hack hit. Over to Hack HQ now, where our very own hack guru Mike, with his man-sized guinea pig Marcus, is about to show us how karaoke doesn't just have to be entertaining orally, but visually as well.
Mike, what's going on, mate?
Marcus.
I am ready for our nights out hack.
Nice to see this pair dressed up for a night out.
Excellent. So today we're going to be doing some karaoke.
Okay, ruining the best songs of all time whilst embarrassing myself in front of a bunch of people. Great.
So you like karaoke then?
Yeah, I love it, mate.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, of course, karaoke, it can be embarrassing and intimidating for a lot of people. But I'm going to make sure with the hack today that you're going to be impressing everyone every time.
So how are we going to be using this to up my karaoke game?
Right, so I've got a laser here, and the laser beam is going to be fired into a mirror on a rubber membrane, bouncing off it onto the wall. So when we speak into this, we're going to see how sound waves actually travel.
Not sounding that much like karaoke at the moment, Mike.
Okay, I don't know how it's going to up my karaoke game, but I'll give it a go.
Right, I'm going to turn on the laser.
Yep.
There we go. And you see it's reflecting on the mirror and bouncing onto that board. So if you come round this way...
Okay, cool. Whoop.
Didn't cut you in half.
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, go on.
Excellent. Right, if you get down low, carefully your eyes, don't look at the laser,
Yep.
and make some noises into that membrane.
Any noises in particular?
Farm noises, you know, whatever you feel like. Hey, look at that.
That sounds exactly like me doing karaoke.
Wow, beatboxing into it. That is quite amazing.
All right, that's cool, but I can't see what I'm doing because I'm looking at that.
Swap places.
Cheers.
Let me make some noises.
That is so cool. What is making that happen?
Right, so the laser is bouncing off that mirror that's attached to the membrane, and the membrane's freely moving. Now, out of my mouth is coming pressure waves. So this is just air pressure coming from my mouth as a sound wave. It's hitting the membrane and making it move. And of course, the different pressures that come out of my mouth make a different tone.
That's cool, but how's this going to make us the kings of karaoke?
So this one isn't, but for our epic hack later, we know that sounds make different patterns. And I've got a massive, fiery way of making sound into patterns.
Fire and sound with patterns. I'm up for it, mate.
It's going to be big.
It always is with you, Mike.
Let's do it.
If you're ever invited to an evening soiree with a strict bow tie only rule, then this video is going to come in very handy. Any hack worth its salt demands hours of practice, precision and dexterity. So you'll be relieved to hear this one just involves folding a tie a few times. A very, very big tie.
Knots are actually surprisingly complicated, and the reason that a knot doesn't unravel is often to do with the sort of mechanical properties of the material, how easy it is to bend and flex.
Now, the material that ties are made out of is usually quite a silky material, which has quite a low friction on the surface. But because of how they've tied it, actually there's lots of surfaces in contact, which increases the friction on the tie.
And all these things combine together to mean that a knot can hold for maybe the whole night out.
This is great if you want a massive bow tie and you want to go out dressed as a theatrical lovey or a dodgy children's entertainer.
Hard to tell the difference these days. This simple tip will help you look good without getting tied up in knots. Plus, a foot-long bow tie around your neck will make a memorable entrance on any night out. A formal hack hit! So far we've seen a snappy way to smarten up for your night on the town and a corking bottle hack. This night out's just getting warmed up though, so make sure you stay tuned because we've got a gobsmacking lipstick hack and a reason to make hair straighteners even a man's best friend. And in our epic hack finale, Mike and Marcus will be showing us how to get that karaoke stage on fire. Figuratively speaking, I hope. Turning up to a night out with your flies undone is not a great look, trust me, so this hack ends that problem forever. All you need is a spare keyring and you'll never suffer from the embarrassing problem of revealing yourself to an entire party ever again.
One of the problems with zips is that they can get worn as they get older, and that just means that that mechanism isn't necessarily going to hold it in place absolutely perfectly, so eventually they're just going to fail, which is sad.
Put some feeling into it, why don't you, Andrew?
A keyring is a really brilliant thing to use in this hack because it's actually quite a strong structure. Most keyrings take the form of a double loop of a metal like stainless steel, and this is a really strong design.
I'm afraid though, Anna, that stainless steel and good design can only avoid the risk of an embarrassing situation on a night out for so long, because there's a whole lot more going on below the belt on these jeans. Jeans are one of the most popular items of clothing out there, so it's probably not surprising that they can start to kick up a stink. But why bother washing them when you can just chuck them in the freezer? When clothes smell, it's because volatile molecules produced by bacteria leave the surface of the clothes and travel to our noses. By freezing our clothes, we increase the vapour pressure, making it harder for these stinky molecules to break free. Cold pants might feel refreshing, but after 5 bracing minutes on the skin, your body will have warmed them up and you'll be wondering why everything around you smells like wet dog. So leaving your jeans out in the cold isn't a good hack for a night out, but keeping your flies up is highly recommended. A cheap tip to keep your underwear under lock and keyring. An essential clothing hack, hit! Now, if you love your hair straighteners so much you wish you could use them for something else, this ironing hack will give you another excuse to keep them plugged in for your night out. All you have to do is soak your garment in water, tumble dry it, then iron out the creases with a hair straightener. Simple, right? Please note this is great for collars, but take it from me, do not try this with your bed sheets. I was there for days.
In this hack, what this person is doing is spraying water on the material, which breaks those temporary hydrogen bonds which is formed when the material is in a wrinkled configuration.
The fabrics that clothes are made from are made of very long chain molecules. And when you apply heat to these long chain molecules, that means that you can adjust their shape, and when they cool down, they'll tend to be stuck in that configuration.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, he has a tumble dryer, a hair dryer, hair straighteners, and yet no iron.
I think a certain somebody is grumpy because he can't use hair straighteners. George. What is it with people and not buying irons? Come on, guys, live a little. A time-consuming hack, miss. If all that dancing on your night out is giving you a thirst, but you don't want to smudge your perfectly applied lipstick, then this next video's for you. If you've also got a mouth wide enough to swallow a bar stool, that is. No, you're not watching the wrong channel. This is still how hacks work.
Swallowing's quite a complicated thing to do if you think about it. You have 2 pipes which have the same entry pipe, and you have to make sure that all the air goes down the right pipe and anything else goes down the other pipe. The way that your body does it is using the epiglottis, which is basically a little trapdoor made of cartilage.
I don't see why you'd ever have to use this. Like, she's got a straw right next to her. Why doesn't she just use that?
This is fascinating. It's a shame they stopped filming when they did, because I think just afterwards she ate the food by just putting the whole tray in her mouth and coughing up the packaging.
Any lipstick-wearing anacondas and reticulated pythons out there, please take note. Nights out can be weird and sometimes even uncomfortable, but physical pain should always be avoided. This hack is an unnecessary mouth-mangling miss. The night is over, the drinks have been spilled, and regrettable takeaway food has been eaten. All that's left to do now is remove that nail polish. But if you think that job's a nightmare, you'll find this next video very absorbing.
Nail varnish is made of a number of different ingredients. Commonly, you start with a polymer, something like nitrocellulose. Now, the process of removing the nail polish is almost exactly the same as the process of putting it on, but in reverse. What you need to do is reapply a solvent that's going to dissolve them and allow you to wipe them away.
Sponges are really useful in this hack because they have a very high internal surface area. This means that sponges are able to suck up liquid like acetone using something called a capillary force.
This nifty nail hack will ensure the only thing you'll have to clean the morning after a night out will be your clothes, and maybe your conscience. This one's nailed it. A hit! Over to Hack HQ. The countdown is over and the fuses are lit. There's no cannon too big, no dynamite too strong for Mike to handle. And with his trusty guinea pig Marcus, he'll try anything, so that you don't have to. Earlier, Mike showed us how to make a neat voice-activated karaoke light display for any song-filled night out. Now, though, he's going to take it one step further by adding fire into the mix and proving that if you ever need to distract your fellow revellers from how tone-deaf you are, just make that karaoke stage epic. Classic, Mike. Classic.
This doesn't look like any karaoke I've seen before, Mike.
No. So this is a Rubens tube, and this is going to make sure you are the king of karaoke in a fiery way every time. So in this tube, we fill it with gas. Right. And on the top, there's loads and loads of little tiny holes that I've drilled. And when the gas is fed in, it comes through those holes. Right. And on the end there, we've put an amplifier and a speaker.
Don't know about you, but I'm lost already.
Right. So let's fire it up. If you turn on the gas there, I'll light it. Ready?
Gas on.
Whoa! Turn that down a bit.
How's that?
Perfect.
Cool.
So I'm going to play some music through this tube. The speaker's going to make sound waves that travel all the way through the tube, and it's going to alter the height of the flames. Okay, a nice bit of classical. can see them all jumping up and down at different rates.
Yeah. The speaker at the end of the tube was moving the gas around in a way that made the flames jump up and down, right?
Exactly right. So inside the tube, you've got loads and loads of gas. The speaker at the end compresses this gas, and it compresses it as the sound wave is travelling through. So it compresses, decompresses, and this forces the gas through those holes at different pressures, which makes different heights in the flames.
All right, so the flames are bouncing up and down at different heights, but I've noticed that there's some sort of pattern to them, right?
That's right, yeah. So you've got different sound waves travelling through this. And of course, when you hear a piece of music, you've got lots of sound waves that are all mixed up together. So you get lots of different waveforms. But I can show you, if I plug in a microphone, we can get a very uniform waveform coming.
All right.
Mike's obsession with fire is so bad that now he's singing at it.
So you see lots of different waveforms coming in those flames. So if you give it a go.
All right. Just
Make a note for me, yeah. Keep changing it. That's brilliant. So hold that note there, because you can actually see a perfect standing wave. So the waveform is coming out of that speaker, it's bouncing off of the plate there, and it's coming back at exactly the same shape. So you get the peaks and the trough perfectly formed. Lovely note.
How long has he been humming for?
I'm a little bit out of breath there, but I think I've got it. A standing wave is when the sound pushes the gas down the tube, it hits the plate at the end and comes back in exactly the same fashion that it went down the tube, and that creates a solid set of flames.
Exactly right. So the sound wave is bouncing all the way down the tube and coming back in exactly the same shape.
Right.
So sound isn't just what you hear, it's also what you see.
Yeah, too right.
No, let me plug this back into here and play a bit of my own music.
Right, I think we better call it a day before my ears start bleeding. See you next time, lads. That's all for our Nights Out special. Time for you to hit the town armed with a handbag full of top tips and handy hacks to make your night go off with a bang. Just don't overdo it at karaoke. See you next time.